Please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. And we should be live on Facebook right now. Hi everybody. Welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend is going great. We're going to talk about the market. We'll talk about the swing ideas that I have for this week. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss in this video is for educational purposes only. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to download the free ebook. Link for that is in the description. If you find benefit in today's video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and if you have any questions at all, reach out to customer service. Their email address is info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. No webcam for this week, I guess. This is the second time I'm doing this, starting this video, and my webcam is not working. So I feel bad for you. You're gonna miss out. I'm kidding. Let's get started. So the market bottomed last week. That was on Monday, I think, and it went up pretty significantly. That's $30 on the, about $30, not quite 30, on the Qs, and then the same with the SPY, the same with the IWM. The IWM is not as much, but same picture, and the picture is bullish. We are looking higher. Having said that, I don't think, and I'm not expecting the market to just go right back up and pretend like nothing had happened, pretend like that drop didn't really happen. This was a very highly bearish drop, so I'm not expecting the market to shoot right back up, but I am expecting it to continue to be bullish, perhaps to on the Qs and the SPY to the declining 20 on the daily. This is the daily time frame right here, shows the daily time frame. The blue line is the 20, the red line is the 200 SMA, both. So I'm expecting the market to eventually, I mean this week, to get to the declining 20 on the daily, and then from there what could end up happening is we, let's say we get up there, we probably will react to it because it will also be resistance right there. The bottom of a base is resistance in an uptrend. So we'll come back down a little bit, and if the market were to stay bullish, we would have to fail on that sell setup, right? So here's the declining 20. Anytime you retest it and then come in, that's called the sell setup. So sell setup. Now if the sell setup fails, that's called the sell setup failure. So if it doesn't make it all the way back down to the prior low, so that's what I'm envisioning happening at some point, maybe this week, maybe next week, but is for the market to get to the 20 and then to start coming in and then to eventually fail on the sell setup and go back up to complete this weekly pullback. But since it's such a deep pullback, I'm not expecting the market to get back up to the prior high anytime soon. I'd be surprised, shocked and amazed in a good way, because I do have long positions, if the market made it all the way back up to the highs. I mean, even in the next like month or so, because I think it will take longer. All right, we talked a lot about the market. Let's move on. Here's the swing ideas. I got Airbnb as a possible breakout on the hourly chart, extended on the daily, with a stop just under this pivot right here. And then the target on it would be probably 125 or so. Initially, maybe the bottom of that bar, and then 125. Admittedly, it's not my favorite idea, but it's just an idea for you. BABA is setting up as a long-term play. I don't like the FXI that much, which is the China ETF. So that's my only issue with BABA, is I don't like the base index. And so that's my only issue. Otherwise, BABA and then I think it's QFIN are the best looking China stocks right now. The QFIN on the monthly, amazing, right? Weekly, nice, but it's not quite ready because it moved up 3-4 days in a row almost. So we need to see it base. That's why it's not on the list. But here's BABA. That's the daily chart, trying to break out. Here's the weekly. Beautiful. Here's the monthly. So I'm liking it a lot. Where's the entry? I think I already have 1,500 shares, 1,000 shares in one account, 500 in another, just as a disclaimer. Some of these I already have positions in. But this one, I like the entry over 81.01, basically. Okay? Initially, you might want to use a wide stop. Doesn't need to be as wide as 71.80, but it should probably be this bar's low initially. Okay, doesn't need to go all the way down here. Wide stop, and then, you know, as a long-term hold. There's a few long-term ideas here, including the BABA. DNB is not bad also as a long-term idea. But FIS and probably TWLO, well, SHOP is not bad, 3M is not bad. So I guess a lot of possible long-term ideas. Let's go over them. CLPT is a 1, 2, 3. So when you have an igniting bar, a narrow range bar, we take it out possibly higher. So over 917 by 864. What I don't like about it is the initial bar is a little bit too big, which means it ran a marathon already. It may need to rest for more than just one day. Maybe if it can put in another doji bar, that would be a lot better in my opinion, because it moved up so much already on day one. That's day 2, and day 3 is usually the trigger. But it would be great if we can get another narrow range bar and then above the high, stop below it. DNB is an hourly base breakout. So over the base, stop under it. What I like about the DNB is more the monthly. See how the monthly is trying to turn up, and the weekly is pretty good also, but the monthly is better. So I like it, but it's not my favorite. This might be my favorite actually. FIS. I know nothing about them. Look at the monthly, weekly. I mean, this looks good. And then the daily. The issue with it is, where's the right entry? It's not that easy to pinpoint the right entry. Of course, you can always play above the prior highs, but then it becomes a really large stop. Or risk getting in it without it taking out the highs, meaning over this bar's high. And then I would still put the stop, keep the stop under 72. One can use Friday's low as a stop, but that's pretty tight for a long-term play. So I would keep it under that bar's low. The entry is either over 78 or over 79, 78, 75. But like it also as a long-term play. The FIS. HBI, not bad either on the long-term charts. Not great on the daily. But look at that monthly. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right? Transitioning. So where's the entry and the stop? As a swing trade, entries right here. The entry is the same no matter how you play it, as a swing or a long-term play. But as a short-term trade, swing trade, stop right here. Long-term trade, stop right here. So as to not get shaken out of it. Okay, really like it as a long-term play more than as a short-term play. I don't think that 3M is ready. I'm in it, but only 100 shares. I played it as an earnings play right here, and when I was only taking $10,000 worth of shares, so I got 100 shares and I kept it. But I really like the 3M long-term. I talked about the 3M for a few weeks now in a row, that it's ending the long-term downtrend that it's been in for years and years and years. So I like it. I don't think it's quite ready to go, but keep an eye on it. Can probably do it over 126.60 or ideally 128.65. Stop under 119.30. Sometimes you can catch a long-term play with a very tight stop, but it's rare. You have to be in it from the very bottom, right? To catch it as a, like I'm in the IBIT, I'm in a bunch of things that I caught on the gap down at the bottom, right? Rare, extremely rare. Most of the time you have to, you have to give it a lot of room so as to not get shaken out. Oscar is a weekly buy setup. Oscar was one of the nicest trades that I've done this year, or was it last year? I think it was last year. No, it was this year, at the beginning of the year. No, let me just double check. Yeah, it was this year. So right here, got in it. Actually, I had my stop right here. It got taken out by a few cents, but I got right back in it and got out on the gap up on earnings. but not the whole thing on the gap up. I got out of 2/3 there, and then I don't know where that last third was that I got out of. But this was an amazing trade in a short amount of time, and now it's doing another weekly buy setup. So check it out. Big stop. That's the only issue with it, but it looks really good long term. That's the OSCR to 35. So where's the entry? I think right here. Where's the stop? Right here. As a long-term play. As a long-term play, okay? Now, why am I not giving you the exact entry? Because you know, I don't have the time to check the exact prices here for you, but you should be able to do that. So you go to the prior high. Okay, that's the highest high. So it should be over 1880. Stop under 1480. Okay, it's a $4 stop. ROIC reminds me a little bit of the DNB. Is it the DNB? Yeah, it reminds me of the DNB, the base breakout. So here it is. The DNB looks a lot better on the monthly. This looks a little bit better on the hourly. So this would be more as a swing trade. Over the base, stop under it, okay? On the ROIC. SHOP, I wish I bought the SHOP before it reported, but I actually didn't like it as a long, so I couldn't have bought it. But it bottomed. SHOP, I'm fairly sure this is gonna be much higher in the coming months. Notice the daily buy setup. So it looks amazing. So here's the entry and here's the stop. Huge stop. Even if the stock goes all the way back up to the highs, using that stop is not going to make us much money at all. It'd be too big of a stop, so not enough reward to risk. So I'm suggesting using the same entry over the high, using this as a stop instead of all the way down here. And if it stops out, can replay it on another setup. Okay, so that's my idea on the SHOP. TKO is a 1, 2, 3, so long over 120, stop 115.30. Looks good. Broke out and a 1, 2, 3. Looking at the weekly and the monthly charts, yeah, all-time high it looks like. Yep, it is. So it looks good. Like it. 1, 2, 3. Tesla is a little bit aggressive. This is the leveraged, you know, the 2 times Tesla leverage, 2x. So it's a little bit aggressive because this was a very bearish pullback. It didn't even pull back, it gapped. You know, it's more bearish when it gaps than when it pulls back. So, but is it worth a shot? Because it could be the bottom on this weekly pullback, and here's the monthly, right? Oh, it looks uglier on the TSLL. Here's Tesla. So that's, you know, trying to transition. So that's the monthly. Here's the weekly. It's a little bit difficult. Can do it straight off the weekly, long and stop, right? But the issue is the size of the stop is huge. So, or long, stop, tighter stop. So that's what I like about, instead of Tesla, TSLL, but the same idea basically. All right. TWLO I like also long term. Let me show you the monthly on the TWLO. TWLO, admittedly, when it started to go here, higher over here, I really liked it, and it wouldn't work, wouldn't go. So I don't know that it's gonna go this time, but it's looking good. By the way, there's a few other things that look pretty good on the monthly. PayPal is starting to look good. Looks similar to the TWLO, but I don't think it has as good of an entry on the TWLO. Let me take a look. Yeah, I don't see a good entry on it just yet. I would love to have gotten in it right here on the buy setup, but I'm not in it, so I'll wait. TWLO has kind of an hourly base breakout. It's not easy, right? Here it is. And normally I would say, you know, put the stop under the hourly base. But since it's a long-term play, I would suggest putting it down here. Or pass on the entry altogether, because it's a tough entry. It's not an easy entry. But what if it shoots up and never looks back and doesn't give us a pullback until much later? So that's the issue. I like it a lot on the monthly. I do have, do I have 500? I believe I have 500 shares of TWLO. TMF, in it already. I talked about the TMF. It's the leveraged TLT, the 20-year treasury, and it has a deep pullback. I don't know, just an idea. Over that bar's high, stop under. I have the TMF, not the TLT, but the same picture. Okay, so as a longer term play, as it's bouncing off the 20-year low, I mean all-time low, basically bounced already off of it. We played it 3 times last year, but this would be the potential higher low. The shorts, we got the BRCC as a short, 1, 2, 3. The shorts this week are not terrible, like every other week. So short, stop, and target, very clear. Low R to R, low reward to risk. CHGG is an hourly based breakdown. Okay, it already triggered on Friday, but not too late, under 209, stop over 234. DAR is probably a weekly sell setup, daily breakdown. Yeah, triggered already on the weekly, but looks pretty good. Short, stop. Okay, on the DAR. Under the base, stop above it. I is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks pretty good. So short under 10.23. Let's say under 10.20. Stop over 11.34. I believe it's at all-time low, and if so, then no predetermined target. It would just have to be managed. But it looks good. The I and the trip are the same pattern. Same kind of pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning igniting bar, a couple of resting bars. So short under 13.40. Yep. Stop over 14.22. Looks almost just as good, and it's also all-time low as well, breaking the monthly base. That's 13.73. We're below it already. All-time low on the trip. The UPWK is an hourly sell setup, daily 1, 2, 3 sort of. So short right here, stop right here. Okay, so short right here, stop above. And then the last one is WBA, poor Walgreens. Who would have thought a name brand like Walgreens would do this? Who would have thought, right? So Walgreens looks lower, especially after the pandemic. I mean, they went through a boom period like crazy during the pandemic. So WBA short under the base. It's not a great base, but it does look lower. Under the base, stop above it. And I think it's all-time low, so it would just have to be managed. All right, so that will do it for this week's video. I hope this was helpful. I do this video every week with some exceptions. Once or twice a year, I take time off and I don't end up doing the video. But anyways, I hope it's helpful. If you find benefit in it, please be sure to come back every week, hit the like button. If you want to find out more about what I do and my services, links in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I'm sorry about the webcam not working. We'll figure it out for next week's video. Have a wonderful trading week next week, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, everyone.